We now have 4 hours, and it starts right now. What could you create if you had 30 minutes to plan and 4 hours to build? That's the challenge we put out for 4 devs today. They have to build an e-commerce site with a twist.
My code is totally working. It's actually really beautiful.
This time, I'm gonna make something that's beautiful, but maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah, stuff's showing up, but it's not what I had in mind.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm freaking out.
I came to win today.
I don't like that he's so confident in himself.
I'll be there in a second.
I don't have a sack, Nick.
This is starting to come together. Welcome to the Web Dev Challenge. All right, y'all. Welcome in to the studio. I'm so glad you're all here. Our challenge has been set by this episode's sponsor, Algolia. Nick, do you want to let everybody know what we're up to?
Hi, my name is Nick Vilku, and I run the growth organization at Algolia, and my job is to get developers and everyone to use the product. Hey everyone, I am so excited here. I can't wait to see what you guys build in the next 4 hours. Wow, that's not a lot of time. So your goal for today, if you choose to accept it, is to build an e-commerce site with a twist and finding a way to integrate Algolia into the product. So as I mentioned earlier, I work at Algolia. We make it easy to integrate search into your site. We are a developer-first platform. We have our search engine itself, and that is both keyword powered. And then we have what we call our neural engine, which is essentially our vector database that does similarity matches. Because these are tools, and you really don't have to know the details of vector math and things like that. These two get combined by Algolia into a fused ranking system. We look at the value returned by keyword results and vector results, and we kind of smash them together based on what we think is appropriate for the customer to see. We also have a recommendation engine, and they can recommend products or entries that look similar to each other, either visually or semantically. We really focus not just on the back-end libraries, but also the front-end libraries. So you can have autocomplete, pagination, all of these things, and we support React, Vue.js, Angular, you name it, Flutter, they're all there. What we do is we try to get out of your way, and you can just get search up and running. And since you guys only have 4 hours, a lot of this stuff will really help you guys get done fast.
All right, everyone, we've got 30 minutes to plan, and it starts right now.
Woo. Oh boy.
Look, I want everybody to observe.
This is beautiful.
I made a plan that only has 3 screens. Last time I made one that had like 15 screens and I built 2 of them.
Someone's evolving and learning.
I'm learning, I'm improving. I'm Jason, I am still here, still doing my best to prove that I'm a web dev. I'm feeling pretty confident because this falls very much in my wheelhouse. This feels so much more comfortable to me than a lot of the things that we do on this show. So now I gotta back it up, right? If I don't blow this out of the water, I'm gonna look like a fool.
You can feel the energy.
I'm Shaundai Person, and I'm a senior software engineer at Netflix. I am really confident in my skills to just beat everybody at everything. I turned around to Jason at some point, and he's like, it's going really well. Jason, this looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, you'll note I didn't actually tell you what I'm doing.
I don't like that. I don't like that he's so confident in himself. My strategy is just to make sure that nobody can see what I'm doing. Nobody knows my next move.
Jason, look at her screen. Look at the font size.
Oh my God.
That's
how do you even read that?
That is security.
How could you have like jet fighter vision?
I got LASIK, and
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. What's nice about this is you can if you're a backend developer, you can use the backend libraries and render everything server-side. But if you're a front-end developer, you never really have to touch the backend.
Yeah.
Got it.
What if you're neither?
Arrow keys, sure.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not. The blasphemy here.
Yeah, she's right in front of my face. You're gonna pick JavaScript
Yes, right
without
now I am.
TypeScript?
Yes. Yeah, so hi there. I am Sidney. I am a front-end developer, yeah. I'm feeling most confident about how I've been able to style my components so far. Now that I have all of the API set up, I just need to mess around with the code and different things before I'm actually ready to try and execute or do something, and that's how I learn.
It asked me if I want to speak with an expert, Nick. If I say no, do I have to talk to you the rest of the day?
Please say no.
At some point, somebody's going to underperform me on this show.
So you're like always like the floor is what you think?
That's really where I'm at.
Really?
It's
That's
like,
funny. Well, now my invitation makes a lot more sense. Hey, I'm Alex Trost, and I am a developer experience lead at Prismic. Right now, I feel good about the idea and not so much like the actual how it's going. I am not one of those developers that like really works fast. I'm honestly concerned that I am going to get distracted styling and not have this thing working at all. All right.
okay, all right, is everybody ready?
Oh, yeah.
So planned. I am absolutely.
The plans are ambitious, I would say. Shoulder surfing, I'm seeing some really, really cool, weird stuff, so I can't wait to see how this is all going to shape up. I think my concern is they might be doing too much, and hopefully Algolia will help them get at least a little further quickly, but they're doing too much, so we'll see what they get.
All right, y'all. Planning is done. Everybody feeling good? We now have 4 hours, and it starts right now.
Like, if I don't use these data sets, what is like the minimum amount of things I would have to make this like a decent search?
Only 100 things.
100, okay.
Even 50 should be fine.
Okay.
This instant search shit is dope. Yeah. Look at this. They have a.
It's wildly powerful.
Did you see they have like a showcase?
Dang.
Like every single one of these is just drop in.
Yeah.
That's slick as hell.
And what's really cool here is you can even have a built-in UI demo here. So if you really want to see this thing work really quick, you just do that bad boy.
Yeah.
Demo and you're done.
I like that.
What?
I like that.
Why is she
Yes.
done already?
Trying to figure out how to get this piece here, which is when I click here, I get my details, right? But the problem I'm running into is that when I try to switch it, it doesn't do anything the first time, and then it works the second time. And I have no idea why. like legitimately lost. Works. I fixed it by hitting it with a hammer. I'm like, nobody's allowed to see this code.
Yeah, I definitely got derailed doing a little bit too much of the styling and stuff and like the conceptual thing, and now I'm kind of going back and just how does Algolia work and getting into like this search part of this, because I think that's kind of important.
Right now, I'm hooking the search box up to the results. So when you type in something like cat, you want the search results to show cats. So I'm trying out this use hits hook, which I hope is the right thing, Nick. And I was about to just add it in and see if that broke anything. And it did. Again, as a champion, you gotta really know your craft. And my code is totally working. It's like actually really beautiful. So yeah, excited to see what I come out with next.
We should get the Webby Awards on deck here for this, because that's like, that's gorgeous.
Watch what happens. This is where the real magic comes in. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
That's where the real magic comes in. Like, this is true senior engineering right here.
I think that I'm focusing too much on like the CSS stuff right now, obviously because I'm a CSS god, and I need to remember how to like actually do like the gap thing in between the elements, and so I just realized gaps, duh. So I think that I might have figured out what I need to do, but I'll have to figure out like what actual like elements and like what class that this is connected in.
We got an hour 25 left, and I'm so confident that I'm making coffee instead of working on my app.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not using that anymore.
What you can do is there's two ways to do this. You can do it by what we're doing here, which is content filtering.
Okay.
So words that sound similar. But the other, and you can do both. The other way you can do this is you can plug this into either Google Analytics, Algolia into your Google Analytics, or if you use our libraries, it automatically happens where whenever anyone looks for something and then clicks on something, it sends an event back to Algolia. Like you clicked on this thing, you clicked on this thing. And then it uses that data to infer more, and it tends to do better than content filtering. So then there's an actual JavaScript method called related products where you pass in the ID of what you're looking at, and it will return back in that template. This is not the React version though. We obviously want to even easier. Related products. And so we have some code samples here. So related products object use this, and that's
okay. So this is okay.
Super easy once it's trained. 2 hours ago, I was a little more worried than I am now. I think I'm starting to see some really cool stuff come out of everyone's work, so I'm kind of excited.
I've been able to just kind of keep this all like single CSS file, single TSX file, which has made my life much easier. I mean, RIP to Alex, who's, we can see him having a great time back there. For the first time ever, I'm not like down to the wire on this, which feels great. And now we just gotta hope that the app I turn in is actually good, because they're gonna rip me to shreds if this thing sucks. How much time we got left? We got an hour left. I have an hour left. I could ship this.
I'm equally confident as Jason. Pretty much lockstep with him the whole day. Yeah, it was just pretty much neck and neck, and I'm just chilling now.
Whatever.
I'm exactly where I want to be. So it's kind of disaster adjacent. So, like, we're not in disaster land because like stuff's showing up, but it's not what I had in mind.
You know, here we are. I guess I can take a break, a little stretch break. You know, I've been doing a lot of helping everybody else. I like to take time out for the people. And that's why I'm here, you know? So it's not about competition. It's not about who has the best app. It's really just about bringing everybody together, having great meals, great coffee, and a few laughs. Thank you.
Thank you.
So while everybody else is doing their fun political speak as if they're in Congress, but I'm fucking freaking out. Like, it's 48 minutes left.
Nick, is dashboard generated ID a thing that I like need to do something about?
Okay, hold on a sec. I'll be there in a sec.
I don't have a sec, Nick.
Oh, I see. So what you're saying is when you search for something.
Yeah.
So the issue with the more like is well, actually what you can do is all of the results, you can get back the hits. The hits,
Oh, the
HITS.
hits.
You can get them all and you can pass in a list of them to object IDs, not just one.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. So
So that's actually a list.
I know exactly what you. Okay. Beautiful.
But it's weird. It's returning a 404 not because.
Right. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would it be
Why is it not
throwing?
finding the blankets URL? Let me.
Yeah. Let me see if are the underscores killing it? Nope. Okay.
Oh.
Here. So.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love doing this because I find it is blanket.
Son of a bitch.
Plurals will always get you, man.
I appreciate you.
Plurals will always get you.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm satisfied. It's going to be a little bit of changing things in the code and being like, imagine this and imagine that. But now it's on them to be able to imagine, and if they can't, like, that's not my problem. I am finished. Let's just put it that way. It's not what I wanted, but I'm finished.
Am I gonna finish on time? There's gonna be a time where it's finished, and I think that time will be when we get done.
The standard is in the basement. The standard is in hell. We're gonna figure this out.
That's it. We're out of time, y'all.
Yay.
Fantastic.
They're ambitious. Like, there's not a lot of time, and I feel like people sometimes think that there is all the time in the world, and sometimes they think they don't have enough time, so I'm really curious where they'll land, but I think we're gonna see some really cool stuff, and I'm seeing some kind of crazy ideas, so I'm really excited to see what we're gonna get.
You know what? I like going first because I don't have to follow anybody up. So, The thing that I built is an e-commerce app that has products that are dedicated to procrastination. First, I'll show you the code, then I'll show you the app. This is just the title, and then I added in this instant search component, which is from Algolia. It returns a list of hits based on whatever you put in the search box. If there is nothing in the search box, it'll return all results, and then it will filter down the list of results based on the text that's in the inbox. And then we have product cards, and then product rows, which kind of display the product cards. The top row is going to be a list of all of the products, and then there's a related products, which uses another component from Algolia. There's a model that got trained to show you a list of products that are related to the ones that you have typed in the search. So another thing that I did was I asked Gemini to produce a list of made up things that are dedicated to procrastination. And then I re-asked AI to give me a price and then to reformat it into JSON. So I've got a procrastinator level, a name for the product, a description for the product, as well as a price. So let me show you what the app looks like. This is Procrastinator's Paradise thing. So this is the list of products. Let's search for cat. Okay, so it's whittled down my list of products to just cat. The one product that comes up, comfy cat ear headphones. And then I've got a list of related products. We've whittled it down to a list of 4. I spent most of my time on Algolia API and getting the related products, which is really fun. Nick provided us with some data sets that we could use, but I just uploaded JSON, which was super easy, and it was very easy to train the model on the data set that I had generated with Gemini.
You can make the model even better if you have a lot of traffic, because then it will start bubbling things around. But just by default, you just put your data in there. It will look at similarity between text, and in about 5 minutes or so, it should put it all together.
Yeah,
Very cool.
pretty easy.
I was overthinking about like the pressure to actually get things done. I'm actually surprised how much I was able to get done. I am very into the video game series Final Fantasy, and because I was struggling to figure out what kind of e-commerce website I actually would want to do. You know those like GIFs where it's like you have $50 and you have these like different tiers of characters to be able to like pay for, to like fight for your life. Like who would you pick? That was what I was thinking of when I decided to actually like go through this list. What was really cool with Algolia is that I was able to provide the JSON, and like right out of the box, it was already like making sure that I had all of my profile age, my gender, my race, my job, and like the origins. Like it had already identified like all the properties that I wanted for displaying everything, which was really, really cool. And so all I had to do was add a whole bunch of components in which they're buttons, they're technically buttons. I was hoping to like add them to a cart to be able to like total up to about like 50 points or something to that effect. And all of the characters would generate a point system between 1 and 10. So you would have a cap for however many like characters that you click. And so I thought that that would be really interesting. But that is what I did. And I think what a couple of other features that like went wrong with this is that very basic React stuff that I was trying to figure out when it comes to the state of actually like getting the total amount of items in your actual cart was something that was like stumping me like right at the end, which is so frustrating. But being able to understand like what the hit components were doing as the actual results, and being able to highlight each attribute in that way, like in the hit component, and then be able to like style them in different sort of ways, like that was really cool. So very impressed with Algolia's product so far. That was really well presented right out of the box. So I think I did pretty well. So ta-da, that's it.
Very cool.
Awesome. I finally got, just a few things at the end, and it's good enough, I think. It's good enough. People will get the idea. I just wanted to make a nice little website so that Nan here could sell her blanket. Just type in blanket, and then we should get a whole bunch of blankets down here. We got mermaid blankets, puppy blankets. She's really busy. And so if we go to the kitten blanket, we have a nice little 3D model of that. I modeled the blanket, and and then
You modeled this blanket?
Yes, in Blender.
My dude.
Yeah. So Nan is not actually what she appears to be. So if we tell Nan, how do you rewind your yarn? She instantly becomes Birdie. So Birdie sells bootleg VHS tapes. And so we can now search, and we're using the movie database. So I can go like The Matrix. Yeah, so it's a different result. And I wanted all of the. I wanted it to be originally like a theme switcher, but I just didn't have time to like figure that all out. But if we look at the code, Nan's blankets, yeah, and so here are all the legal greetings and the illegal greetings. You sure you're not a cop? I've been pushing tapes for 40 years. I've seen it all. Do you have a tape? So this is the Nan component, and like just some stuff like we switch her shirt color. I'm using GSAP to do the animations. I wanted to have her like get like real like angry or just intimidating. But yeah, just use a bit of GSAP to animate her. And then yeah, have 3JS for the VHS tape. I'm importing the GLTF file from Blender, and that's kind of it. I mean, like, it is what it appears on the
That's
box,
it, he says, as he does a full animated grandma and 3D models some blankets and VHS tapes and builds a fully functional search app and builds in secret code. I was just blown away by, I mean, Alex sounded like he was about to turn in just an IOU, right? I was like, dude, what were you worried about? I think that when people watch movies, you know, a lot of times they will choose a movie by, you know, who the director is, who the actors are, what the general plot line is. And we all claim that's what happens, but I think we're liars because we actually just pick it by what the cover looks like. First and foremost, I got the whole movie data set. Give me a movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Where's the original one? Like way back in the day, 1990. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pop into this one here. Instead of like doing a search by genre or by director or by plot, I figured I'd just pick movies that had similar posters. And so as you can see, you know, we've got some buildings, and then down here, some buildings. We've got some buildings. And the thing that I thought this was gonna be a little more abstract. Like these are so similar. Like check this out. Like we're gonna click into the Batman here. But the cool thing about this is it's designed to like, it just looks for visual similarities. I also love when you look at the Marvel movies, like this is the same poster.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Right? Like you start diving in here, you're like, oh my God, this is the same poster. Let's take a look at the code. One of the reasons that I got done so fast this time was actually because so much of this was just like out of the box. I got to use some CSS layers, and at first I thought I was just doing this for fun. And then I realized that I needed the Algolia stuff to be on a layer so that I didn't have to import and hack it. And so I put the Algolia stuff on the lower layer, and then down in here, I was able to override Algolia features without having to like do important hacks or extra targeting.
Okay, so that was tripping me up.
So my CSS was actually like, I thought I was just sort of entertaining myself, and then I was like, wait, this is like really practical. So shout out to CSS layers. They're dope. Then in the app TSX, I just one-filed the whole thing. It's all in the app.tsx. I have like what's selected and whether or not my popover is visible. I was trying to use the popover API, I couldn't figure it out. Like it works really well on its own, but when I started trying to dynamically update the popover content and then have the popover display, so I dropped out of the popover API and went back to just using React style, like repopulate the component. Instant search, out of the box component. Search box, out of the box component. Hits, pagination, refinement list, clear refinement, all just out of the box. I didn't have to write any of that stuff. So most of what I was doing was positioning them. But for the most part, this was like really straightforward, really nice to work on. It like came out looking, I think,
Looks good.
like decently polished for 4 hours, right? That's it.
Nice.
We did it, y'all.
We did it.
I loved everybody's app. I think I was surprised at how well things came together using pretty much the same tools. I learned a lot about Algolia, and I didn't realize how fun and easy it was to use. The components were already styled for you, and the widgets were available for you to use. All you had to do is just add in different props. You could manipulate the data in any way that you wanted to get a really good experience with a little bit of code and a little bit of logic.
What really
really went well. Actually, like being able to get Algolia to really start working with the data set that I provided out of the box, I was really impressed with that. Hopefully everybody had a good time. I sure did, so.
Today went pretty well overall at the end. It was a lot of panic. It was a lot of just not knowing if I was gonna pull it together for a while there. You think 4 hours is plenty, you plan out a big thing, like scoping's just always my problem. So how quick 4 hours is, especially when you're just like hitting bugs and frustrated and trying to get stuff done, so.
I mean, it all went well today. In a shock to mostly myself, I was actually able to get everything done on time. Huge shout out to the Algolia stuff because so many things were drop-in. I didn't have to come up with things and I didn't have to fight the technology to get it to do what I wanted. So I was able to focus on like polish, I was able to focus on customization. I scoped it right this time. Like it actually felt good to build.
I am amazed at how it all came together in the end. Like, I feel like it was like, oh, what is going to happen? And it's kind of like all the puzzle pieces clicked in, and I was really impressed with what everyone did. It was really cool. Like, someone literally built a bootleg video store that was amazing and so retro. I thought this was great, and I'm really, really happy with everything that people made.